These are not just layups. This is not an alley-oop. This is simply an at-bat.
In today's episode, Courtney and I sit down with Kelby Steele, the owner of Lead Force 360. We're going to be talking about the current market, what insurance agents are facing, how working with Kelby and targeting business owners and increasing your commercial insurance production is extremely beneficial during times like this. We're going to be talking about the sales cycle and the difference between your personal lines and your commercial lines, what that conversation looks like, the importance of being a sales pro versus just an order taker, an amateur, and much more. So with that being said, let's start the show. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. We are your hosts, Michael and Courtney Weaver, and we have a special guest with us today, Kelby Steele. What's going on, Kelby?
What's happening, guys? Good to see you.
Man, I am so excited for
I love how you said that.
Kelby Steele. Kelby Steele in the house. I feel like I'm talking to Superman. The Man of Steel, baby. Let's go. All right. So
This is a special one.
this is a special one.
Look at check this out.
This is a special one. So Kelby, we love Kelby. Kelby's a friend of ours, but Kelby is the first lead provider that we've ever had on the Insurance Buzz, because if you don't know our feelings about lead providers, we think that most internet lead providers suck.
They're trash.
They trash garbage, man, but not Kelby. All right,
100%.
Kelby.
We like Kelby, but I'm telling you right now, if you didn't offer something good, we would be like, we're just going to be friends. We're not going to bring you on the bus.
Well, here's the thing: is we're never going to do anything on the buzz just to make make money or make a quick dollar. And we're not
going to put our name on anything we don't believe in.
Yeah, we're only going to bring people on here that we actually trust and believe in. And Kelby, obviously, we have met in person. All right, we've got a great relationship. I've actually been following agents that have worked with Kelby for 2 years before I even flew out to Boise, before we flew out. And so today is awesome. I'm pumped to talk to Kelby because you work with a lot of insurance professionals across the country and you specialize in commercial insurance leads. And that's exactly what I feel like all insurance companies want their agents writing right now, either commercial or life insurance.
Mm-hmm. That's right. 100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very true. With the market and everything, the way that it's going, it's all about commercial life.
All right. I need to know, how are your leads different than the 7 million that are out in the world?
Spill the tea, Kelby.
If I had tea,
here's the tea kettle. We're gonna knock it over. So the difference between us and basically all these other lead providers is that they're just looking to bring people on for 3 months and then burn them. And many of our agents probably listening to this have been burnt. I've been burnt. You've been burned. We've all been burned. And so the thing that we wanted to do different was come in here and set up a done-for-you marketing team. It's the best way to do it. You can set up exclusive relationships. You can set up exclusive marketing just for you and your agency when it's managed, even outsourced to Lead Force. So that's the way that we're different, is that we're setting this up, building this out based on your appetite as an agent. And sometimes even if it's the same company, say that, we get, because we work with over 400 insurance agencies for just generating commercial, and each and every one of them, and many of them are like Farmers Insurance or Allstate or State Farm or whoever it may be, or some of them are actually independents. They all have a different appetite. And so we'll have a conversation, which is typically something you can't do with the EverQuotes, the Quote Wizards, the smart financials out there, right? They don't have a conversation with you. But our goal is to build a long-term relationship with our agents so that we can better understand what is it that's going to position you in the best way possible so that you can close. And a lot of things we'll ask is hey, what was your background even before insurance? What did you do in the past? One of the gals that we work with, her background, her family owns an automotive business, several automotive repair shops. And so she can talk for days about cars. And so I said, okay, why don't we go after and build an audience? Yes, you can write all these other things which fit within your appetite for your agency and what you can sell through your carrier as a captive agent. But what if we do those things too? But what if we focus primarily on auto repair shops, which are clearly within your appetite, and you can talk for days, and then we'll brand you as being the expert in your county. She's in Los Angeles. So we say, okay, what if we just built a radius, 100-mile radius or 50-mile radius around your office to all the automotive businesses. And then we're going to brand you as being that person, the best person possible, even though she's a farmer's agent, and say you're one of, many farmers insurance agents. But what makes you special is that you specialize in automotive businesses because your family runs automotive businesses. So it's more personalized for you. You offer better coverage, better pricing, better customer service. And those are the three things that make you different.
Okay. I want to go back though. You said a done for you model. What does a done for you model look like? Yeah.
So a done for you model is typically we get insurance agents will come to us and they'll say like, Kelby, I don't know what ChatGPT is. I don't know how to build it. I don't know what workflows look like. All this automation, it's cool. It sounds awesome. And I know I need to do it. I just don't know how to build it. And so that's fine. Like, hey, look, Kelby, I can talk insurance all day long. Like I'm the master of insurance, but when it comes to automation and building workflows and trying to make sense out of that is just not my expertise. So the smartest people in the world find other people who can be the who can get that done, right? The who, not what. So that's where we step in. As we come in, we partner up and we say, hey, we're going to build this for you at a fraction of the cost versus like if you were to go hire somebody to do it and you were trying to figure it out yourself and then you had to manage that person and you had to make them a W-2, or you can just outsource it to us. It's already done. The snapshots are done. And then we can work as that fractionalized marketing team for your agency.
Okay. All right. So I have another question. So
I'll just wait my turn.
Because you can go ahead.
No, go
what
for
you
it.
got?
I love you. Go ahead.
Quality leads. I know you've really, you're always the one that,
Go.
are you sure? All right.
Yes.
Quality leads. I know you pride yourself on quality. So I would love to know how you are providing more quality leads on a consistent basis because look, when I was a producer working for an agent and I worked internet leads, I felt like 9 out of 10 of them were trash garbage. And even the one I got a hold of was like, man, I never requested a quote. So how are you providing quality leads to the agents you work with on a consistent basis?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the biggest thing I would start with is just simply having the conversation. We're able to talk with our agents and find out through not only just one conversation, but ongoing dialogue. I always say that I tell agents this up front. I said, the way that this doesn't work between you and me, you don't talk to me. You don't communicate with me. If you don't talk to your marketing person, things fail. If you think like, look at your marriage. If you guys don't communicate, things fall short, don't they? So it's the same thing with the lead providers. And that's why we're different, is that we have ongoing, what we call review calls, where we go through and we talk about it. Hey, what's happening? And a lot of times, if there is an issue, it's often, something's just being dropped, or like, oh, I didn't look there. Or, one of the things that we do different is, for those of you guys that don't know what ChatGPT is, it's this amazing AI software that you can do so many different things with. But one of the cool things of the way that we leverage it is through listening to our phone calls. So some states you can't always record calls, but you can record them through ChatGPT. And what that does is it gives you a summary of how that call went, basically a script. It listens in on our callers. So if we're calling on behalf of an agency and we're calling on my friend who runs the automotive businesses, that's her ideal market in California, we'll target those and then we'll have our callers with a script. They'll go through and they have a conversation with the business owner, and we're able to record that script of how everything went. So there's things and then we'll populate it in the notes. And this gets texted and emailed to the agent so that they can actually see what it is that we said before they actually make the first phone call, right? And so we're either conducting a live transfer or scheduling an appointment. And we found that actually most agents prefer the scheduled appointment over the live transfer. Sometimes they can be available and sometimes they can't. If they can't, we'll still schedule the appointment. But when they have those notes, they're able to see so much more as far as like how that conversation went. So a lot of times we're even going through, and we're not only just talking about the commercial book of business, but we're going into talking about, hey, do you also have a key man policy in place? So we're trying to cross-sell even life, but we're using commercial as our foot in the door and then pivoting that into other books of business. If it's a sole owner, we'll identify in the notes, here's their policy number, here's the carrier, this is the workers' comp date, if they're doing workers' comp. This is how much they're paying in payroll, this is how many employees they have. They have 3 commercial trucks, all these different things. Are they the decision maker, or does Lisa over in HR help out with that? Are they the sole owner? We're capturing all this information so that the agent doesn't have to. And most of it, like, we'll go through and we'll make over 2,000 phone calls a month per agency. And so we're weeding out. Most of the time we're getting no's. People are like, no, I'm good. I'm happy with my insurance. So we're saving agents time that they're paying their W-2 employees, which is a lot more expensive for them to go through and make the calls. And especially if they're out sick or whatnot, like our team, like there's always somebody to back them up if they're out sick, so it's getting to the results without having to spend a lot of money, right? And for W-2s to make these calls, you still need the activity at the end of the day. So who's going to make the calls? So it might as well be somebody that you're fractionalizing everything out to rather than, a W-2. So, yeah.
So I want to walk back a little bit to creating the avatar, essentially like the unique value proposition that you're working with a customer on. So when you're going through those questions, are you helping to guide, because commercial is a big, like there's a lot that comes into that. Are you helping them guide on, I think you would be a better fit for this kind of business owner, workers' comp? Like, are you helping and kind of like navigate that process, almost like a matchmaking of skill set to ideal customer?
Yeah. What's great, what I found is like, we can call on all kinds of things, but what helps the agents, because a lot of this is like, it's creating urgency and there's creating a timeline. And so a lot of times we'll pivot to workers' comp is great. And it's something that, State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, everybody, all the carriers, they're all focused on workers' comp. The reason why is because you can retain customers for 5+ years, and they're not like the EverQuote, the home and auto policies, like they're not shopping all the time, and it's already really difficult to get in front of them. So it's like, it does take a little bit more work, but if you can win that business and be that squeaky wheel, you're going to get the grease and you're going to retain customers you're looking at 5 years or longer, right? So if you can deliver great customer service, you'll even retain them for longer. So what we're finding is that if when we go through and we build a search, we're going to look at the next 45 to 90 days that companies within their appetite have an X date coming up or a renewal date. And then we're going to go through and we're going to call every single one of them. And basically we're going to say like, hey, hey, Michael, I see that you run a plumbing business. Our agency specializes in plumbing businesses. Our owner, in fact, comes from a long family line of plumbers. I'm ultimately calling to see, I know you got a workers' comp date, you got a renewal date coming up on October 30th. The short of my call, the reason for my call is just to see if you want to save some money. If you don't, I'm going to walk away. But if you do, we'd love to be able to earn your business. Does that sound like something you'd like to learn more about? And they say, some of them, the majority will say no, hey man, I'm good. Like, it's family friend, I'm happy with my carrier, whatever. I feel like we're getting a really good deal. Okay, awesome. Hey, stick with that person. If you feel like you're getting great service, I'm happy for you. Stick with them. And some of the others will say, you know what? No, I absolutely hate our carrier. I don't feel like we're getting great service. I feel like we're getting ripped off. I'm always trying to find ways to save money. Yes, I want to talk to your person. Okay, we'll do that. We'll set that up. First couple questions, and then we'll go through and ask them a couple questions. How much do you pay your payroll? EIN, can you send me a copy of your existing policy? How many employees do you have? All these different things. And we'll confirm the data that we have. Some of this is public information. Not all their contact information is public information. Not how many employees they have. Not how much they pay in payroll. There's a lot of these things that we need in order to put together a preliminary quote. So we capture that. And a lot of times it's through conversation actually with the agents where they say like, hey, look, I also need to get a hold of X, Y, and Z for me to be able to write this person. And so we'll try to say, okay, we can't ask them 40 questions on the phone, but hey, if there's like 5 or 6 questions that we could ask, what are the most important 5 or 6 questions that you want us to ask? And we'll give them advice on saying like, this is what we found that most people will offer. If some people will say like, well, can you ask for the EIN number? And a lot of times I actually tell them like, you know what? The EIN number, like not very, we're calling these business owners like completely cold. And I don't even know my own EIN number, like off memory.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Yeah. It's like, we'll ask questions that they'll either know like right in the moment, like as we're calling them.
Yep.
But there's some of this that you'll actually have to do too, you know? So, you know, everybody's kind of looking for like the easy layup and everything and the silver bullet. That's not what this is. And so I don't want agents to get confused thinking that, oh, you know, Kelby's just going to spin up some magic and then boom. The idea is that as far as close ratios, because I know everybody, all of our agents are going to want to know what the close ratios look like. For commercial, what's normal is like 25%. 25% your first year. Year 2 is going to be, and that means going back to them, having a process, and we build out automation that reminds them that, hey, this person also that you just spoke to last year that was closed loss, they actually have another renewal date. They're 90 days out from the renewal again. We should call them today. They get a text message. Here's the phone number. Call them right now. Here's all the notes that we gathered from last year. Call them right now. And so they can build out the sequence of calling. So year 2, they have a 50% chance of their rate of closing that book of business. And then in year 3, they have a 75% chance. So if they quote them every single year, like a chance of closing that book of business just increases every year. And that's why I say it's the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I had an agent this last July who you guys actually know, but his name's Rob. So you probably know what I'm talking about. He said to me,
we know Rob.
Oh yeah.
You know Rob. Yeah. Rob, I talked to Rob back in July. I talk to Rob like every week, but Rob, I was talking to him and he said, this is a guy, Presence Club. I started working with him 5 years ago when he had one producer, and now he's got, I don't even know, like 12 plus, 19. I don't even know. I know if anybody's out there looking for a job, message us because he's actually hiring like 20 more producers. We'll get you connected. But he had asked me, he's like, Kelby, hey, you probably don't know this, but we just closed one for $65K. I was like, oh, congratulations, man. Was that one that we just sent you last June or this past June? You know, a month ago? And he's like, no, you actually sent this to me a year ago. I said, a year ago? He's like, yeah, you sent it to me a year ago. I had like 4 or 5 conversations with this guy. And then at the finish line, he completely ghosted me. I said, oh man, that sucks. I said, well, what did you do? What changed? Like, did he just call you up out of the blue and say, yeah, I want to do it? He's like, no. I got your notification inside of LeadSoft, CRM, that notified me that he was 90 days out from his renewal. And I said, what the hell? I'm going to call this guy. He called him up. The guy picked up the phone. And then he's like, I had a few more calls with him. The guy was super apologetic. He's like, dude, I feel so bad. Like I ghosted you. I just got really busy. I should have done it last year. I'm going to do it this year. And so he went through and he signed. And because Rob was diligent enough in being able to say, yes, I'm going to continue to work this, and didn't let his feelings, inhibit him from calling this guy because he had been ghosted last year, right? He pursued it and stuck with it, and he got a $65,000 deal out of it. So it's those things, and we see it every day, every week, every month, where these guys are, if they work the process, then they win. And that's the thing that I think that agents are truly going to struggle with. And we're going to see agencies close their doors because they're refusing to adapt to this new world of commercial. It's not the EverQuote. It's not the Quote Wizard. Like, these don't close. They're not one-day closes. These are typically 3 to 4 month sales cycles. And you have to be disciplined in working that sales cycle, managing a pipeline.
Yeah. That's a lot. So
I want to kick the door down.
Let's kick it down.
Kick the door down, because you're bringing up, this is sales, and it is fueled with a lot of no's and a lot of follow up and a lot of nurturing and a lot of conversations. And I think the days of cheap and easy transactions are gone.
That shit is done.
Like we're in the people business, and especially if you're working with business owners in the commercial space, it's going to be a longer process because there's more on the table there. Usually.
But so it's a longer sales process, but when you close it, holy smokes, the premium is so much more than just your single line household. And so I'm not, you have to continue to market towards your personal lines. You have to continue to market towards your homeowners, your autos, your renters for sure. But the commercial space is a space that every company right now and really every agency owner, when you start thinking about the future of their business, is trying to figure out how to get into. And most agency owners, in my experience, it's a different mindset shift. And so that's a different mindset shift for your team as well. And so how can you target a commercial account or even have a commercial marketing plan and set yourself up for success? Because it is a slower cycle, but the payoff is so much more.
What do you mean a different marketing or a different mindset shift? What do you mean when you say that? Like, how is commercial different than like PNC?
So it's different because you're working with business owners, and business owners everybody's busy, but business owners truly are busy. Like we're busy. Kelby's busy. The insurance agent right now listening to this, busy because they wear so many hats. And so number one, to even get them on the phone and have a conversation with you is going to take some time. It's going to take multiple follow-up strategies and processes. And two, then is right now even the right time. And that's like what Kelby's hinting at. And so you as the agency owner, if I'm in this position, and that's why I like Kelby's model, because he has a done for you process to where he's got the people in the background making the calls, doing the follow-ups to try and generate that warm lead for you, because that's the most difficult part, is even sifting through all the no's to get the one yes that could equate to a huge premium. So from a producer standpoint is what I'm talking about. When you are used to working personal lines all day long, these are quick sells. Like, yeah, the conversations are 10, 20, 30 minutes long when you go through that quality conversation that we teach as far as building rapport, having a discovery conversation, putting together an entire proposal, not quoting just single line products, asking for the sell 3 times. But you're talking a 30, 45 minute, maybe hour process at the longest. And then you're on to the next sell. A commercial lead, not only is it the original conversation of fact finding, but then you've got your business, you've got your BOP, all right, your business owner's policy. You've got your workman's comp. You've maybe got a commercial liability umbrella policy. You have a lot of policies that go in then. So you're not taking 10 minutes, 15 minutes to put something together. It may take you an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to put together an entire proposal for this business owner. So it's just a different conversation and sales cycle.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed when we've been getting a lot of agents coming in and they're saying like, look, Cal, I have no experience. Like commercial intimidates me, and they're being vulnerable in that way. And so like when we talk through it, I think another thing that kind of makes us different is that we have videos, there's training. I'm not expecting them to be an expert in commercial. We're building this out. We give them a business coach that kind of works with them and can educate them through. And honestly, a lot of times they'll text, they'll call, they'll email the business coach, or they'll even call me and they'll say like, hey, look, I'm feeling stuck here. I'm feeling frustrated here, or I'm getting this objection. How do I handle this? So a lot of it's like just talking through it, objection handling and what to do from there. The other thing too is that these are just at-bats. So a lot of people, they come from the EverQuote, Quote Wizard mentality. They think that like, oh, I'm just going to pick up the phone and they're just going to start, like, forgive me, but I don't consider that sales. I consider that as a cashier, and you're just taking an order. This isn't McDonald's. This is something where you're truly having to implement sales practices, sales processes to help you to win the deal. Business owners are saying to us, they're like, look, I'm willing to give you a shot to earn my business. I'm not looking to check out at, Safeway or Walmart. I'm looking to actually be sold. Like, tell me why it is that I should change. What's different about you than the other guys? And honestly, most agents, the majority of them, 9 out of 10, when I ask them this question, what makes you different? They can't answer me. They don't know. They're like, I don't know. And I usually default to saying, okay, this is what you say for now. You say 3 things until you figure out what that is. And you will, kind of through having conversations with people, you'll figure out how to brand yourself, whether it's a gal who has the automotive business, like that's your niche. But when a customer, and these business owners are tough, when they come to you and they say, Michael, why should I sign up with you? Why are you going to be any different than the other guy right down the street? What's different about your agency compared to the agency that's like just a mile down the road? Why don't I just go sign up with him? I'm going to take whatever you say to me, your price point. You say it's $1,000. I'm going to go to him. He's going to give it to me for $850. So what is it other than price? What is it that's different, right? And that takes initially, this is where agents also, so I'll say 3 things and then I want to share this too. There's the 3 things that if you're just defaulting, if you feel like, I don't know, if you're hearing this right now and you're like, I don't know what the 3 things are, take these 3 things. The things that make me different. Michael asks us, Kelby, what's different about your agency? I would say, Michael, there's 3 things that make me different than all the other guys. Number 1, better customer service. My team, hands down, has better customer service than any other agency in the Valley. Number 2, better coverage. These are the things that we specialize in. We specialize in working with businesses just like yours. That's why I know I'm confident behind our team and how we can offer you better coverage. Number 3, better pricing. If it's not me, if I can't do it, if I can't give you the best price, and it shouldn't always come down to price, right? But if I can't give you the best price,
it should never come down to price. Never.
Yeah, I mean that's not why you have insurance. It's not because of price. But if it comes down to that, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that it should be somebody else. But this is where agents this is also where agents kind of lose it here, is that they think that they can lead with value, and that's when you're first reaching out to a business owner. They don't care anything about, because they already got it done. They already got coverage, right? Like if you're going after workers' comp, they're already covered. So you're not going to go to them and say like, my workers' comp is better than that guy's workers' comp, because you really don't know. You're talking out of your butt. Let's be honest. And you know it. But the difference is, and that when you're first reaching out, is you can talk about price. So the initial outreach is all about price. Hey, I'm confident that, you're paying this. It's probably the same workers' comp coverage. I'm confident that you're getting this coverage from these guys, and it's the same coverage really with me. Maybe it's a little bit better, but there's no way for me to truly quantify it, right? And we know this as agents. But because our company specializes in working with yours, you fit within our appetite, I wouldn't say that. We can offer you 15%, 20%, upwards of 30% better pricing than the other guys. You're getting the same stuff when we're talking about workers' comp. What's really different when it comes to workers' comp? But pricing wise, I can offer you better coverage. Now, once they say yes to, okay, I'm willing to give you a shot on the price, and I then start having a discovery call with them, that's when I then go into the value of the coverage. I'm trying to take the conversation away from price and I'm moving it over to coverage. Dang. And then through my interaction with them, they're naturally going to see that I have better customer service because I'm willing to communicate, because they haven't even heard from their agent in 3 years, right? Yes. I'm going to educate my customers so that whether I'm the right solution or the other guys, they're at least going to know why they're with me. So that's the difference. And so a lot of times through our coaching, it's teaching agents that, hey, when you get, these are not just layups. It's not an alley-oop. It's just simply an at-bat. And so when you go into these conversations, pitch value, start asking about other things. And if you do that, it's a great way for you to cross-sell and you'll make more money. And you'll actually take care of the customer better too. Like you're not doing your due diligence if you don't ask.
Time out real fast. Time out. You're speaking my freaking language, man. Like this just isn't the conversation that you should be having with business owners. This should be the conversation that you are having with every single person that you work with. I don't care if it's an auto renters. I don't care if it's an auto home. I don't care if it's a business owner that has a $50 million portfolio. This is the type of conversation you should be having. Yeah, sure. You can lead with a hook. You can lead with price. All right. I used to do the same thing on personal lines, but then it has to be about more than price. Your job as the insurance professional and advisor is to lead them and guide them into a conversation that steers them away from price and what actually matters to them. What are their problems? What are their struggles? What are their expectations out of you when they need you the most? What do you have in common with them? And if you need help with what we are talking about right now, what we are talking about, this sales conversation, actually being a professional, not just an amateur, not an order taker like you could get at McDonald's, this is exactly why you should be working with us at Weaver Sales Academy, because this is exactly what we specialize in. Point blank, period. Like, your customer deserves more, and so do you. You deserve to be the best. But you got to put in the work. You have to know what an actual proven sales conversation sounds like. And that's exactly what Kelby's talking about right here, man.
Preach it, brother.
I'm sorry. I get fired up, man. But this shit, like, it is so true.
Virtual high five.
Because it's been, but what you're saying has been so transactional. Like, the trend has been so transactional over the last 10 or 15 years. The days of that is over. Like, if you are focused on price, you are going to get your ass kicked every single day.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be more than price. It has to be about relationships and value and how you're going to be there for them when they need you the most.
So you brought up the unique value proposition, the 3 questions: better customer service, better coverage, better pricing. I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit because that's still treetops and we need to get down into it, especially as a business owner. I think the overall theme is genuinely give a shit. And you can say that to your customers. I genuinely give a shit. But you also, if you are listening to this, are more than likely a business owner. So put yourself in their shoes. What would you want? You want it easy? So I make the process easy. I remind you when things are coming due. I have your back. You can connect with me. Think about all the things as a business owner, because it's not just about price for you. You want it to be easy. When you say you have better customer service, what the hell does that mean?
Elaborate. Yep.
Tell them exactly what that means. You get my cell phone. I'm going to let you know when there's a renewal that's coming up. I'm going to let you know if there's a change. I'm going to let you know if I see a discount that was missed. You're going to call me and be able to reach me in 24 hours. You're not just a number to me. Like, tell them what better customer service means. When you say better coverage, tell them what that means. That means in case of an emergency, if something were to happen, this is what's going to happen. This is what we're responsible for. Paint them the picture. Better pricing. Why does that matter? Like, obviously, yes, we can save you money, but we're going to give you the best rate possible because I genuinely care. But my job is not to save you money. My job is to make sure that you're adequately protected. That's why I'm here. I'm here to cover your blind spots. So if you're struggling with a unique value proposition, write down what's important to you, because you can say that with conviction. Like, that's how you're different.
You probably don't even know this. So I told our insurance agent, I'm like, one of the only reasons I would ever cancel my insurance is if one of my bills don't get paid. And if my bill doesn't get paid, that's on you. That's not on me. Remind me if my payment is due, because I will pay it in full. Like, I need your help. I'm busy over here. Like, you see my policies. I don't have access to my policies anymore.
So many freaking policies.
Like, so put yourself in I love what you're saying. Put yourself in the perspective of the business owner. And here's the other thing that we're not even talking about from a business owner standpoint yet, is when you open this door, and Kelby, you kind of mentioned earlier, it opens the door for so many other things. It opens the door for the personal lines. It opens the door for life insurance. It opens the door to help the employees and the team. Like, this is a much bigger opportunity. And that's why this sales cycle is a little bit longer and why you have to be the professional that Kelby's talking about.
Yeah.
And they know, as a business owner, that's who I'm referring. If you earn my business as a business owner for my baby that I've spent my entire life building, and then we start to bring our personal life into it, when I'm out and about, guess who I'm referring? Like, I'm going to be referring you as my go-to insurance professional, not just for commercial, but you want more people like this in your book of business, especially right now.
Absolutely.
Birds like a feather flock together. So think of it like you're almost selling the next one, right? So you got to be thinking about you know, if you're selling to plumbers, right? They probably know other plumbers. If you're selling to a retail business owner, I guarantee you they know other retail business owners. Birds like a feather flock together. Friends buy from friends. Like these,
That's right.
You get into that network. There's a guy, I love this story. This is a great story. So my buddy, his name's Oscar, and he's an African American. And he lives in California. He's an insurance agent. He was brand new. He'd been 11 months into the business and he needed to focus on commercial. Never sold commercial before. I helped get him connected to a guy who, an Indian guy who very thick accent, but fell in love with Oscar. And this guy, he owned 7 businesses. It was a big deal. When it closed, it was a big deal. But Oscar did a really great thing in building a relationship with this guy. And remember that Oscar is an African-American guy, doesn't speak this other guy's language. But he built this relationship with him of trust. And this Indian guy, this business owner there, he ended up referring his entire family, all his friends, his church. This guy Oscar for the next year was just getting referrals from all his other buddies that owned Indian restaurants and Indian businesses. It was amazing. I'm like, that's a perfect example of somebody that completely different worldviews, right? Who came together, completely different ethnicities, that leveraged relationship and trust in what he did as a professional. And this guy from a completely different worldview saw that and saw the genuineness of this guy's character and said, I'm working with him not because he's black or not because he's of a different religion, right? But because of who he is. And it was just a great marriage of it's a great example of how if you care about what you do and you care about other people and you take care of them, they're going to take care of you. And that's exactly what this customer did for Oscar.
I was just going to say that if you treat people like just another number, they're going to be just another number. Mm-hmm. If you treat them like a person and establish a genuine connection with them, you are going to get referrals and that customer will be on the books for much longer, potentially even a lifetime. And that's what the industry is going back to. We are seeing a shift in the industry. And if you are going to be an insurance professional and not go extinct over the next 5 to 10 years, you are going to have to figure out ways to establish genuine connection with your customers to make them feel like they're just not another number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of said that.
I feel like today was good. I feel like today was great, man. Kelby.
I swear I'm sweating. I got so fired up, but it's so important because right now and where we're at in the market, we really are looking around and going, how do I survive? How do I thrive? What does this look like moving forward? And it really is get back to people. Yeah, the product may shift. We may focus more on commercial versus P&C. We may focus more on life than P&C, but people are people.
And conversations are conversations, baby.
Yeah.
It's true.
What's cool is this is bigger than, I was going to say too, what's cool is just to kind of go along with what Courtney's saying there too. I hope when people are hearing this, they're hearing really the genuineness of our hearts in this. It's this is bigger than Lead Force 360. This is bigger than the Weaver Academy. We're really saying this because this is people's livelihoods. At the end of the day, this is the things that keep them up at night. They've got kids that maybe they're in public school or private school or they play soccer or whatever it is. But this is truly what's providing for our agents. But then even for those that's covering those customers of theirs. So, of course, we're here, we're representing, I'm representing Lead Force, but truly at the end of the day, this is about making sure that we're putting together a quality product that's actually for people, right? At the end of the day. And there's nothing worse that as a business owner that drives me nuts of paying for something that when it doesn't work out, it's the biggest disappointment for me, because I don't view our customers as like just being a number, like, oh yeah, I just, like just trying to lock you in for a certain amount of time so I can make a buck. I really don't care at the end of the day. I'd rather them not work with me. And I'll tell people, like, part of the discovery calls I'm even going through is I'm actually trying to see if like they're actually going to do it, because if they don't, they're just going to end up spending, all this money with me. And if they walk away not happy, then it's not good for my brand too. So I think that that's something I care more about, the quality of the relationships, and that they actually do it. Because I know that I'm going to be giving a lot of my time and my team's time of wanting to spend with them so that they are successful. And so when we talk about bringing people on, we're not just looking for anybody that's going to say yes, that's going to breathe on a mirror. I want to work with people that are serious, that want to take the next step, and who are genuine about it. And sometimes it's not the right time. Maybe right now is not the right time. Maybe it's 6 months from now, but then let's revisit when that time is right. So appreciate you guys. And I know everybody that I've spoken to that works with you guys, that's kind of your heart in this too, is that you really care about people. And it's not about what you know, it's about how much you care for these people. And you guys truly care about people that you work with. So it's great. Pleasure to be here,
man.
Guys.
We appreciate that. And yeah, everything you just said, we mimic 100%, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. We always tell people, like, your success is our success, and we mean that. And we truly do give a shit about whether you're successful or not. And just like you just said, it's not for everybody, because you can invest, but if you don't use it, you're wasting your money, and nobody wants that. Because what you said, it's a poor reflection. Just like you can give people the best leads, but if they don't call on it, if they don't follow up, that's just wasted opportunity and wasted money. So, no, Kelby, I appreciate that, brother. So what's the easiest way for people to reach out to you, connect with you, work with you? What's going on?
Yeah. Come to leadforce360.com, leadforce360.com. You're also welcome to, I'm going to give you my email too. This is my personal email. So personal work email, Kelby, Kelby at leadforce360.com. Go ahead, shoot me an email. If you guys want to have a conversation, happy to do that. Oh, and I was going to also share with you too, that if you do go to the website and you sign up the contact us page, if you do that, type in the word buzz, because you guys are going to save $250 when you go to sign up, just for listening.
Let's go.
What?
Let's go.
Say what?
Yeah, let's go.
Look at the buzz community. Let's go.
Yeah, the buzz
Virtual
community.
high five. Virtual. Yes.
Dude, we have the best community, and it is the fastest growing community in the United States when it comes to the insurance industry. Let's freaking go, baby.
It's the coolest
Everyone's
people on the
talking about
planet.
it.
You listening. Gosh, wherever you're listening, if you're in your car, if you're on a walk, thank you so much. I don't know how we got this job of being able to be surrounded by the best humans on the planet, but it is an honor to walk on the planet at the same time as you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Thank you for being a part of this community. Kelby, thank you so much for the wonderful offer code for our listeners. Again, that's Buzz, BUZZ. Make sure check Kelby out, what he's offering, what he's up to. That's all we have for today. As always, time is the most valuable and important asset that we all share, and we appreciate you spending some time with us. Go out, make it great.